Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kenos, and we are here tonight for another installment of Gym Class Feeders. Joining me for this first couple of games is Sig Tao Lord. How's it going, Sig?
Is up, Kenos.
Gym Class Feeders is up. Weren't you paying attention to the intro?
No, who are we?
We are the LCUS, I've been told, because you forced me to
Oh,
say it. All right, guys, we are here with, as I said, Gym Class Feeders. Got two very exciting teams lined up for you for this first set of games, and all the games tonight because we only have two teams set up. So we are playing a best of three. We have Goonstomp, LNZ TARDIS, CalHop, Burn the Heretic, and Mixlink versus Zamifun, Ravane, Princess Peach, Relexus, and Sigtao Eternal. Not necessarily in that order. Sig, which team are you looking at? Where are your position eyes on?
from the looks of it, this is a battle of the top laners versus the junglers. These teams are pretty stacked, with a whole lot of junglers on Team Goonstomp and a whole lot of top laners for Team Zamifun. Now, Team Zamifun does have the benefit of having a support main and Ravane, who also plays ADC. But on the other side, Goonstomp only has one person really in an off role. With a regular role that isn't jungle, that is, and that's Burn the Heretic, who's an ADC player.
Yeah, and of course that is the exciting thing about the LCUS's gym class feeders is you can shuffle the cards a little bit, maybe see some players in roles that they are not necessarily in, um, and see if that creates some exciting matchups. Obviously, some players are in their more prominent roles, but like Elon Z Tardis, for example, in support, assuming he's in the correct position there, is not something you see every day. We had threats from Mixlink of going, I believe, Vayne Jungle. So we'll have to keep an eye out to see if they follow through with that intimidation tactic. And of course, the mainstay is Relexus in the top lane, Princess Peach in the bot lane, those sorts of things that you see in most matchups, but they're always fun to watch play.
Oh yeah, high level of execution from these players in their standard roles. The thing I think that's going to be the most exciting is if we're looking at this as a in the narrative of junglers versus top laners. Um, I'm excited to see exactly how macro plays into this. With four junglers, you got to hold yourself to a high level of accountability if your team's macro is poor. I mean, these guys need to understand, and I'm sure they will demonstrate their understanding of being there when the timer pops for Drake, making sure that you set yourself up with vision for Baron. I mean, it's a lot at stake. Some reputation is on the line tonight for Team Goonstomp, where I want to see exactly how good of a team fight, and if we've got if we've got three top laners on Team Two. Team Zamifun. I expect to see some hard carries out of these guys. They're used to playing in situations where they need to have that outplay potential. And what's better time to demonstrate that than against four junglers?
And of course, having these many top laners means we're going to have a lot of people picking teleport, right?
Hopefully, I really want five of them, and all of them used at flash distance.
I mean, that's what we're here to see. Really, is we're here to see Relexus redeem himself by showing the strategic purpose of teleporting 3 feet in the middle of a fight. I'm sure there's a reason for it, and he'll find it. By God. Everyone keeps saying they're ready, but we need to. Proof is in the pudding, everybody. Where's that start button? They're just lying to us, Sig. How have you been, Sig? We haven't had you in the caster's seat in a bit with me.
I've been okay. I live in a very loud house. But not as loud as I think the pop would be for this pick band tonight, Kenos.
Absolutely.
Who you think gets targeted on what side? I bet you it's Peach.
Peach and Relexus are obvious targets because they're in their more common roles. We see the Jace get taken out right away. That being said, Peach, during these last couple of gym class feeders, has had ample opportunities to pick some of his more prominent support characters and has not really had the chance to do it. Or not really so much the chance, but it's the inclination. We haven't seen the Yuumi, we haven't really seen the Seraphine. So I'm not sure how much banning Peach out is really effective.
I don't think you can successfully do it. there are too many mages available, too many enchanter mages.
Mhm.
We do see that targeted ban come out headed towards Ravane. It's right in the name, and I've seen him on it. It's definitely high threat. Calhop receiving his dictated target ban, not getting to see him on the Rek'Sai yet again. Don't know how many weeks in a row.
He had it last week, and I think they lost. So it's not the be all end all. I wonder if there'll be a Gangplank ban here for no reason.
A lucky dude. Good thing it was banned then. We'd hate to see him do bad 2 weeks in a row.
I'm just wondering if Rek'Sai top is the scariest thing in the world, right? I mean, I'm no expert. We did see Peach do well with the Zyra last week, so a good ban there. But this does mean Gangplank is available. Not that he's worth a ban, in my opinion.
It's interesting with Peach or any support really. You do get a little bit of a cheat there if you play one of those carry supports. If everybody's off roll but you can still hard carry without it really having that gold income.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see characters like Swain, for example, being a massive threat even when everyone's on roll. And then you bring it into a situation where everyone's just kind of messing around, and the results sometimes speak for themselves. We do have the Kai'Sa first pick here, very reliable ADC lock. Relexus is hovering Gangplank to mock me. We'll see if he actually locks it, and he does! Alright, so this is the first time we'll see Relexus on Gangplank in a while.
Good stuff. I'm excited to see it. We've talked about this macro relationship that these junglers should have, but we'll just have to see how they answer into that solid global pressure provided by Gangplank at the top lane.
Right, and I mean, that's the main threat that Relexus provides with Gangplank, is that he's solid. He's not somebody who I think, at least until hyper late game, is going to rock the boat, pardon the pun. But he is somebody who can look on and rely on being a presence. And especially if there's going to be more objective-focused team fighting, that presence is very welcome. Speaking of presence, Nunu, always a threat up and down river with that snowball.
Yeah, and so hard to contest on those neutral objectives.
And Sejuani, good single target lockdown, durable lady. Like to see these picks so far.
I like it, but I really hope that they utilize the top lane. Oh, never mind. The Leona would answer that as well. Having that melee damage to truly optimize the passive from the Sejuani is just one of those underutilized tools in pub games. But it looks like they are building to answer that issue and get the most out of that frozen. Is she a Viking? Is she a warrior? What's her theme?
Essentially a Viking, I guess.
Okay.
Marauder.
Well, that's probably the best term. This hyper-mobile marauder.
Alright, so we've got the bot lane and jungle locked in for our Brew City Brawler team. Cowbell has top, jungle, and probably support. So possibly some ADC bans coming toward Cowbell here. And I would imagine 2 top lane bans. I guess it depends how comfortable they are in the mid lane.
I would hope that we get to see those bans. But I think you're targeting mid is going to have such a high value. If you know what you're playing, banning out champions that are a threat in meta is very successful right now. And it is definitely the age of the AD mid.
Well, we do see the Zed ban, most likely a mid target. The Nasus ban is kind of silly. Support Nasus might be a concern. I've heard tale of that. But I don't think we're going to see mid Nasus, but I've been wrong before.
Murdered.
So, two mid bans for Cowbell, unless we're going to be seeing some Assassins top. And last ban here for Brew City, it's a big one. They're taking their time with it. Maybe another support. Nobody likes Yuumi. Oh, take the Caitlyn out. Sure. Kai'Sa's natural nemesis. Maybe it means we'll see something a little more interesting out of the ADC slot here for Cowbell. Ooh, Draven's fun. I like that. Alright. I'm into it.
I think it's really interesting. It's going to allow for really strong ganks early game, and I think that it's a very solid choice into the Kaisa right now.
Ooh, Ornn. Okay. I think they should pick a high damage mid laner. I'm not seeing much damage out of this team.
No, it's very low damage outside of that sneaky damage you get out of the Ornn that he randomly blows you up. I personally think with that kind of pressure, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a Lux.
Lux, Victor.
Oriana, yeah, a control mage that can successfully utilize that Sejuani when she comes in, because you wanna get ahead, but it looks like they're opting into the safe lane. I think that there's huge team fight potential out of Brew City, but the Brawlers are definitely going to have to do that. Have their namesake ready, and going in deep. Looks like this. What do we call the other team? Cowbell. Cowbell does have a much stronger disengage. So if your initial engage from Brew City isn't success, if that Ornn ultimate misses, if the Sejuani misses their ultimate, if the Oriana ball doesn't hit enough targets, it's going to be Cowbell's game to win at that point, as they can just peel away, use their ultimates at the correct time. Lots of pressure on Brew City, in my opinion, Kinos.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was looking at this team a little bit, and I actually would have liked Vel'Koz for Brew City, I think. They've got a strong frontline presence with Ornn, Sejuani, and Leona, and so having a Vel'Koz or some other character like that in the back line just firing laser beams would have been great. The kind of way you mentioned the Lux as well. But now we have the Oriana, who does help with the tanky sort ofness of this. Can throw the bubble on the Leona, on the Kaisa, keep that durability up, protect the front line, and also obviously deal good disruption and damage with her ultimate and ball abilities. But yeah, I think that Brew City will be in a little bit of trouble if they end up losing the Kaisa. But also, like, the durability isn't really there for Cowbell. Nunu is very durable. Gangplank gets up there. But early game, I think they might fall behind a little bit, which could be a problem for them.
It's a lot of pressure on Nunu to enable these laners. Vel'Koz scales so well, and his damage is just so consistent throughout the game. He's going to be a setting target though, and I think that Sejuani has a very clear mark into the late early game. For us to watch for. That's definitely something to watch for.
Yeah, Eternal's going to have to be very careful and keep a knock-up in his back pocket for when the Sejuani shows up. Or if we have some of those bot lane rotations and the Leona comes out of the brush for him or something. Because, I mean, he's very immobile, does have that grid disengage, like you mentioned. But you know, it's something to look out for when you have a team who wants to jump in and eat you alive, like a Sejuani or Leona can initiate on you like that. Top lane matchup, Ornn Gangplank. We've seen it many times already. Ornn versus anybody kind of plays out in a similar fashion. It's just a question of which player decides to be a little more aggressive with it. And like you said, there is definitely a lot of kill potential in this bot lane for both sides. Draven has a lot of burst damage early. Janna's got those slows and that knock-up. Draven little burst speed action. So if we see the junglers in this bot lane, for either team, we could get to an early lead pretty quickly.
I think if we're looking at the bot lane in a bubble, then what we're gonna see is Ravane and Peach definitely have a skill advantage just based off raw numbers alone, and I think that their DPS could potentially be higher as well. The issue that I have is when you're at a skill disadvantage, it's always good to play aggressive and to play tanky engaged champs to allow someone with more experience in the lane, such as Burn the Heretic, to succeed. So Leona, really such a brilliant pick for this Brew City Brawlers, because it allows them, if they get on top of the Draven, it's just so hard for them to answer. It's going to be a real opportunity for Peach to show us some of that enchanter skill that he is so strong at demonstrating. As the peel is going to be what allows this team to make it to the late game for the Draven pick to pay off.
As we head to skin selection, thank you, Prowler, for the Prime sub and for the emotes in chat. Always nice to know people are watching.
Gotta love it. You're while we're here.
All right, Infernal Vel'Koz. Haven't ever really seen that, but I can't say it looks bad. No orange skin. Disappointing.
And that naked, I think, is going to put it back in the cowbell victory. But I do have to say, I'm excited to see the Ruined Draven. With so many skins available for Draven, it's a risky pick going Ruined Draven. No one really cares for that skin line because they haven't progressed that story yet. But I'm glad to see it.
I can't imagine. I mean, Riot is digging more into their lore, so maybe that'll actually lead somewhere. But I can't imagine that the Ruined skin line is actually any sort of canon anything.
It is. It is. There's a Ruined skins, and now they're coming out with new Lightbringer skins. They're inducting new Lightbringers, which are going to be like Aurelia and.
Sure. May I remind everyone that Jhin was introduced by killing Garen and Sona, and that doesn't seem to have happened. I'll just remind everyone of that. I'll believe the Ruined skin line being canon when I see it.
It's all about that new game, the Ruined King, coming out. They've done so much better since the Jhin release, Kenos. You got to give them a little credit. They've really done better. I'm sitting at my desk looking at a copy of Realms of Runeterra, and everything that they've published in that book still canon.
Oh, I'm sure it's still canon, but I mean, they aren't skin. I mean, we're not going to suddenly have half the champs in League of Legends become cyborgs in a storyline at some point.
Well, no, and there's canonical skins and non-canonical skins.
Right, and so I just doubt that the Ruined ones are canonical. I think that it's a fun alternate universe sort of thing, like what if Superman turned evil? But until I actually see it on print, oh my god, Draven has been possessed by the Ruined King's demons, or Shyvana is now a black dragon, I'm not going to believe it.
One thing I do believe is I believe we're going to have one heck of a fight. I don't think I gave you a clear answer. I'm calling it for Team Calhop. They have an easier to execute comp with a very clear win condition. Fight, fight, fight. Fight on your terms. Fight over everything. So the weight on victory falls very squarely on the disengage and being able to pick your fights as Team Cowbell. So Brew City, I'm in your corner. Get that W.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, slightly easier to navigate, more durability, which I'm a fan of. I do like the team of Zami, I guess, Cowbell, but I mean, I feel more confident in Brew City's lineup. And my God, you were right. If I can take away from directed camera, which I am lazily using, this Draven skin. He looks like if someone decided to make like a masculine Statue of Liberty and just turn the testosterone up to 25. I can see why people don't care for it.
I get Thresh vibes. Which, yeah, duh, no duh, Justin. The hook guy from the Shadow Isles looks like the axe guy from the Shadow Isles. Yeah, I get it. But it's still cool. It's still cool. We don't really have Spooky Draven. It's good to have Spooky Draven.
He is a kind of spooky guy. I like this little ambush that Brew City's setting up in the bot lane brush. We'll see if it pays dividends or if the bot lane of Cowbell decides to take the safe route. This Janna skin's also a little distracting. It looks a little too much like Irelia for my taste.
Yeah, and she's even got a sword. That's the sacred sword skin line, and I'm glad they really got away from that. All right, pings came across. They figured out that little kill bush they had set up, but it did not work out.
Would have been interesting to see if it would have worked, period. Level 1 Leona is not the most dangerous thing in the world, and the Draven can really deal that burst damage. But we'll see what happens as we head into the early laning phase. keeping an eye on those jungles to see if they decide to put any early game pressure out. And, mid lane, Eternal has been putting down some pressure on Goon Stomp early, a little bit of poke damage there. But that's not deterring Goon from getting that early CS.
I do think if we're looking at itemization, Kenos, it is interesting if we look at the top lane. We did see Gangplank go with that Corrupting Potion, so he's going to be playing aggressively around these trades. Here recently, on our Discord, please make sure you're checking the doodly-doo down below and joining our Discord. We'd love to have you. He did explain that he prefers playing in shorter trades, and with this potion... Oh, engage in the bot lane.
Yep, good stun there on Peach. Does have to burn the flash. Good idea going in for that squishier support. Janna not known for her durability.
Looks like they will break even, though, on that trade, so very well done by Ravane.
Oh.
Pause comes across.
Yeah.
We do see in the chat it's a DC.
Or maybe it isn't. So many questions. Ooh, is that, Oh, and now I'm just frozen. That's interesting.
Okay, me too. Bring up the game timer. See if it lets you navigate with that.
Let's see here. Go back 15 seconds, maybe? Okay, let's me go back 15 seconds. I'll speed back up. I was commenting about the chain arms, and okay, it seems I've gone past where we froze.
Okay, great.
So I'm
What time are you on?
I'm getting there. Gank top lane, Calhop gets knocked up a little bit, gets under turret. I'm gonna be at 4 minutes when I say the word now, which is right now. So I'm at max. I just sped all the way back up to where we were at. So if you speed up as well somehow with a working game, we will be even. But yeah, Vel'Koz having those chain technicals is interesting. I guess it fits the infernal flair. But yeah, relatively even lanes, despite the aggression on Ornn in that top lane. He's only a little bit behind. Jungles seem arm in arm here. If we check out the gold numbers, the gold is identical. We are stuttering again. Thank you, Riot. Bot lane, despite some early game pressure, the Draven has managed to catch up. However, there's a gank coming down here, which is Sejuani. Interesting double supports negating each other. Peach is totally dead. Can Ravane get anything out of it? Flashes for not first blood, but here's the Nunu as well, so this Draven may make up dividends for the fact that he's going to get a couple more kills here. One more hit on Mixlink will do it. Will they get Burn the Heretic as well? Great knockup. They're going to go for the dive here. Zami, alright, sacrifices for the triple, but Ravane gets the turn.
Oh, God! Ay, Dios mío, Kenos, what a fiesta!
Yep, turrets deal damage, guys.
That was a triple for both.
Yep, so both ADCs get out of that pretty well. Obviously, the first blood gold going over to the Ravane. However, the Draven has more gold overall because of that CS lead. So relatively even. They have similar items too, Draven grabbing that Vampiric Scepter versus Boots to make up the difference in items.
The CS lead in the top lane has doubled since we last spoke, and Calhop hasn't successfully gotten one CS.
Yeah, that's that zoning that Relexus likes to do with that Gangplank so much, which makes him very intimidating for top laners to face.
So difficult. But Ornn is one of those champions you really don't get behind. You always have some level of relevance.
Right. I mean, as soon as you get 1 point in your ultimate, you're basically good to go. More tenacious Malphite, if there is such a thing. Another gank, good little jump in there, but unfortunately, that time the Leona did not land the sword. And Ravane's getting a couple of hits in. Yeah, as Bidet says in the chat, Ornn is a CC machine, farm doesn't matter. And that's right, Calhop's 6 already. He might as well just stop bothering to be in lane at all. Alright, so...
Now, go ahead.
I was going to say, despite your comments earlier about the hyper-awareness on the objectives, no one's going for Dragon yet.
Well, it's an interesting predicament. Mixlink wants those Drakes, but you don't win a Smite fight versus a Nunu. Q Smite is probably the easiest secure, and with to play into. Ooh, Flash Engage coming from Alonzi Tardis. Stunned, Ravane not able to walk away. Peppering in the damage. Here comes the counter gank from the Nunu. Zamifun is going to hit, burn the Heretic. Mixlink going very low. First kill going over to Ravane. Ravane trying to pick up a second. Peach picks up the second kill. Not giving that to the carry, but hey, support gold's the thing.
Yeah, Alonzi using that Hex Flash, which obviously does certainly have its uses for those fun little ambushes. Unfortunately for Brew City, the Nunu has just been omnipresent at these ganks. Practically reading the mind, it seems, of Mixlink. Calhop is going to probably die here. Got a little too greedy staying around for Relexus, dealing that big gangplank damage early. So, yeah, shout out to Zami being on top of his positioning and rotation so that he's able to help his bot lane at all times, because they've really benefited from that. And we do see Burn the Heretic getting to 6 as well. Alonzi, where is he on the 6 XP ladder? Not just barely 5.
Oh, it is interesting. Relexus in Mix's jungle.
Yeah, he's going to pay for
does
that.
Get caught out by Goonstomp. Goonstomp is 6. Does
flash.
have the ultimate. They land the stun. Goonstomp able to hold on to that ultimate.
Speaking of
gets
the
the
Nunu.
kill.
Oh. Missed that snowball throw. Ravane getting a little greedy there. I think Alonzi might have been able to get some dividends if he'd grabbed at him right as he was by the turret's edge. But now's not the time for dying some more.
Or bot. It looks like this dive is going down whether you want it to or not. Tardis does nimbly navigate this dive, but it doesn't matter. Vel'Koz damage comes across. First kill goes over to Ravane. Second to burn to Sigtal Eternal.
Yeah, very nicely done. Good rotation there. Now the Ravane can farm up a few more plates. Now they're heading to that dragon. And they do spot this. Brew City does, because they had a control ward there. I don't really think anyone's in position to do anything about it unless Goonstomp pulls off the Miracle ultimate. The ball is there. They'll just pull it out. Zami's very low, though. Alright. Would have been really fun if the Draven was on Brew City there, because a good Draven ult could have done something really bad there for them.
It would be entertaining to say the least. I look at this map and I look at the engage from Alonzi Tardis coming on the bot lane. Ravane caught out. Burn the Heretic uses the flash to go in. Damage peppered across, but the ignite is on. He still will walk away. Zamifun going low, trying to walk out, uses the flash, and despite all the summoners used, no kills on the bot lane.
Yep. Good job with survivability there from Cowbell. Do have a gank coming here in the top lane. Relexus going to be caught relatively unaware. Can Mixlink help lock up this kill? It looks like they will. It's CC all the time at the time. Easy. And now they should push top, maybe? And it looks like Sejuani doesn't want to. Interesting.
You have this Rift Herald. You want to hold on to it. You want to make sure you're utilizing it in the most advantageous way possible, and forcing your Calhop being forced to push up into tower or past tower, even if the tower were to fall, not advantageous for this Brew City Brawler squad. So I agree with that call. Recall, get your bot or your mid lane some more gold in that pocket. Calhop don't need it.
Now, would you say it's advantageous to accidentally have to pop it in the middle of a brush while you're trying to gank somebody?
I think it is a good call. It is healthy. I, as a jungler, can say I've never done it. Following up, Mixlink does go in after the engage from Alonzi Tardis. First kill going across to Draven. Alonzi Tardis low. Ravane might pick up their kill in return. Does get it, but he does go down. Sejuani, Mixlink picks up the kill on Sejuani. Flash from Calhop, lands the knockup. Peach very low, uses that shield to stay alive. Trying to walk out, knocked up and knocked free of any danger. Very well done.
It's a very interesting use of the Janna ultimate at the start of that fight, making a little bit of space, but actually kind of pushing them sort of into Draven as well. Probably would have preferred to have had that while being chased, but expertly got away nonetheless. And the first kill in the mid lane goes over to Orianna, which I was not expecting considering Eternal's early pressure.
It was a very interesting play watching it. We saw the flash come out from Eternal. He knew what was getting ready to happen, but the flash response from Goonstomp, followed by appropriate ball control. We are going to see Ravane getting caught out in that corridor in the jungle near blue. The ultimate may push them away. You don't want to fight in those corridors facing that Nunu or the Draven or the Janna. It's just a no-no. But very good disengage. Relax is picking up that big early gold for Cowbell.
Yeah, especially difficult because the Ornn ultimate was not up yet. Ornn obviously loves those tight corridors as well, but when he doesn't have ult up, he can't really do much with it. So there's that first Rift Herald there. Gets a couple of plates falling in about 30 seconds. We do have the Nunu coming to try to help out here. The Vel'Koz is coming up from the river as well, but doesn't look like anyone from Brew City is sticking around. Good little sidestep there. The Pixels are not with Alonzi, not quite able to engage, not that he probably would have wanted to.
Yeah, what would you have done there, buddy? That's like a dog catching a car. What are you going to do with it when you get it?
Alright, so they should get this last one. That's going to be 2 more plates. Second turret as well. Yep, alright. Second turret for Cowbell as the plates expire. And I mean, this 4-man push is brutal. I feel like somebody's got to come down and help. Goonstomp's got teleport. Looks like he's fine farming up in mid, though, and the push does fade out.
This gold lead on the Orianna is going to transfer into a damage lead as the game goes on. But my problem is that Ori ult doesn't mean much if your tanks are dead. And Draven, right now with this build, is going to be able to shred these tanks on Team Brew City Brawlers.
Yeah, it's worth knowing the Draven has a 3k gold lead in this bot lane, which is pretty intense. 2.5k gold lead up in the top side for this Gangplank as well. Zami gets caught behind enemy lines, but does have Eternal there to back him up. Maybe a Vel'Koz laser to finish this here, especially with the counter ult. That's a good ult animation, by the way. Nice little knock up there. Alright. Ravane's got to run now. Draven's got a little burst of speed, but he really only benefits running toward enemies, and also you can't blink away from things. Just run. Can be a little bit faster, doesn't necessarily mean you'll get away.
Now, Rolexus, though they're not in body, does have the ultimate up, Kiddo, so this is like a 4.5 to versus 4.
Yeah, the ultimate could be useful. Unfortunately, Rolexus not being there means there's less durability. Not that Rolexus is the tankiest person in the world right now. We might see that some of that lack of health come into play here, but Mixlink, a lot of miscommunication on this team. Good jump in on Eternal right away here, trying to separate the team out, but no one on Brew City seems to really know what they want to do, and Rolexus comes in from behind. Great use of that teleport, and he's going to help clean up.
We are now at an 8k gold lead, favoring this Cowbell team. That I don't know if every fight looks like that, Kinos. I don't know how you come back.
Yeah, and I mean that I think was part of the inexperience in roles that we were talking about earlier. We had the 2 engagers going in, then trying to leave, then going in, then trying to leave, and Alonzi just kind of dying. And I mean, no necessarily faults of their own. It's difficult to communicate in that sort of a scrambled situation. They also weren't at full health to begin with, so the durability advantage wasn't really there either. But I mean, they really need to find an answer to this Draven, and they need to find it fast.
Well, Draven's yet to back to complete this second item, but when he does, we're gonna start seeing just so much money pouring into his pocket, because he's just gonna continue to get gold off of these stacks that he has, the admiration stacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for those who don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Draven gets more gold the more times he kills champions. Because he gets stacks the cooler things he does, and those stacks are rewarded for gold when he kills champions. Very flavorful. Not quite as good as it used to be. Used to be better. Well, it did.
I'm glad that they fixed it though, because a lot of those stacking abilities, you can't have everybody have the Nasus Q passive.
Sure. Can we get toggle for gold? Sorry,
yeah.
Chat.
That's what I was gonna ask.
I mean, I was on gold about 30 seconds ago, but we can do it again. So,
Bidet, pay attention, buddy. Pay attention.
All right, so here we are up with that. We have a 4.2 lead now in the bot lane, so it's skyrocketing exponentially, and almost a 4,000 gold lead in the top lane now as well. So that is really where the goose is getting cooked, is in the Draven and the Gangplank. We do have a potential gank opportunity here as well. Nice little knock up there, catches Mixlink, but he'll get away. Alonzi comes in with the stun. I don't know if this is a fight they want, but Calip's going to try to do it anyway. There are multiple ultimates available. Big ultimate there from the Leona, big ultimate from the Ornn as well. This could be the turnaround they want, but they aren't dealing damage to the Draven. And they see what happens when they don't. They had a good chance there. They dealt a lot of damage to two characters. It just weren't the two characters you need to be dealing damage to.
I think out of all of those ultimates we saw happen, the biggest one... Oh god, good rotation out of Ravane to pick up that last kill.
Okay.
Flash from Relexus to pick up another kill. That's a full ace. Pour your drinks. Leona does come up. But with that last team fight, Kinos, the most impactful ultimate, in my opinion, was that Janna ultimate. It disengaged off of Ravane and allowed him to reset and start dealing even more damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Janna's ult isn't the most flashy, and you can definitely use it incorrectly, but when you do use it just to kind of keep people off of your carries, it can certainly make a big impact, and we saw that there. So yeah, I'm not really sure what Brew City does here. Good flash there by Eternal. Mixlink could theoretically kill Eternal here. Doesn't really have any help. We do have the Leona coming in now as well. If Alonzi can land this, misses it unfortunately, but they're gonna pick this up. But I mean, there's a big. We're starting to see a level difference here as well. Alonzi is 3 levels down, up against Peach. And Jungle is tied up, of course. Calhop 1 level down up in that top lane. Ravane 1 level up over Burn the Heretic. I think the mid laners are close to even as well. But, I mean, generally when your support is that far behind, you know the game hasn't been going that well.
No. It's so hard to climb out of an 11k gold difference. The highlights that I will say, to stay positive. The Ornn is starting to come online. He has reached level 12.
Ooh, good Gangplank ult there. Mixlink should still get out though. That Gangplank ultimate is always seems a little more disruptive than damage dealing. Ooh, big barrel shot though there on Goonstone. Alright, so that's the 3rd dragon down, ironically by the team of top laners, not junglers. We do have the ball coming in. Burn the Heretic has to flash. The knockup still lands. I don't think Sammy is going to be able to... Ooh, nice little heal burst there. Good stun, though. That was a great triple kill, but good play by Leona.
Incredibly well done styling on him with that little jiggle. I like that.
Oh, frozen again.
Me too. That is so weird.
Let's see if we can hop back 10 seconds. Let's be back up to where we were. Watch that triple kill again, slightly. Nope, froze again. Interesting. I wonder if they surrendered. That'd be funny. Riot, please.
Regular spot. Yes, no one is in game right now.
Okay, so there was just a surrender because they were very down. All right. Or the all of Riot. Oh, Relexus says the game didn't freeze. We won. All right.
Wow.
Thanks, Riot.
Well, folks, if you check us out on YouTube, we'll have a dramatic reenactment of the end game. Every character played by Kenos. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah, that's the thing that'll happen. We do have the score screen set up, such as it is. Score screen sponsored by Riot Games' client. So feel free to send Riot your feedback at ourclientistrash.com. I mean, obviously, we knew the score when we saw it. We got high double damage numbers on this Gangplank and this Draven. And because if people demanded it, vision score, very nice vision score from the Leona, which is not really the sort of thing you see when you're that far behind. So props to Alonzi for keeping his head in the game and keeping his eyes open, as it were. All right, so we should be setting up a game 2 here momentarily. We will see if the new Brew City Brawlers can pick themselves back up, and if the new Cowbell can cement a 2-0 victory. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few seconds.